Hi there, Chris Baxter from Rosenberg, Perry and Associates. People are often concerned about what they should do when they're stopped for a DWI by the police. There are certainly some ground rules that can better your position. Number one, cooperate with the police. Don't make a bad situation worse with lack of cooperation. Police officers are involved in hundreds of interactions with the public on a daily basis. You don't want to be the case that they remember because there was a lack of cooperation, physical resistance, or some other issue that would stick in their mind. Second, you have rights once you are stopped. You always have the absolute right to remain silent, but you do have to cooperate to a degree with the police by giving them your driving credentials and other information related to the registration of the car and the insurance of the vehicle. Short of that, you have no legal obligation whatsoever to respond to their questions about whether you've been drinking or taking any illicit or prescription substances. You can rely on your Fifth Amendment right and politely advise them that you don't want to answer those questions. Often in a DWI stop, you'll be asked to get out of the vehicle and perform certain sobriety tests. You don't have a legal obligation to perform those tests. Once the officer has asked you to step out of the car, there is already a preliminary conclusion that you will be arrested for DWI. If you perform the balance tests, you are only adding the state's ability to prove its case of impairment through some perceived lack of motor skill. So don't do the balance test, but politely decline to do them. If you have an orthopedic issue from the waist down that would prevent you from adequately performing the tests, you should advise the officer of that right there on the side of the road as well. If there's smell of alcohol and some indication of consumption, you'll still likely be arrested for the DWI, and that's because the standard for arrest is very low. We call that probable cause in the legal world. The state doesn't need much to get you back to the station. Smell of alcohol, an admission that you drank anything, even minor failures of the balance test if you decide to do them, are sufficient to bring you into the station to administer breath testing. Once at the station, things change. If you're arrested for a DWI in New Jersey, you have a legal obligation to provide breath to the state. Obviously, if you refuse, no one's going to pin you to the ground and shove a breath tube down your throat, but you will be separately charged with a refusal offense, which carries very significant penalties in New Jersey. If you've been charged with a DWI and you're not sure whether your roadside conduct assisted your case or hurt your case, give us a call. We'd love to chat about it and tell you how we can help you out. Thanks again.